Hey guys, Chris here, and today I want to talk to you about how to make a healthy alternative to mashed potatoes. And we're actually going to use cauliflower today instead of our standard potatoes. And this is going to be a real simple recipe that you can make quickly, cheaply, and you're going to season it to taste. So we're going to start out with some key ingredients, but really I want you to have fun with it and flavor it the way that best suits your palate. Some of you may want to try this instead of potatoes if you're looking for a healthy option, if you want to reduce your carbs. If you just want to get the benefits of cauliflower, you can use this recipe. So with that said, there's a couple pieces of equipment that we do need. We do need a pot with a steamer. This is pretty common. You may also have a dedicated steamer system, but this is pretty quick and easy. And if you don't have one, these are really cheap. If you go down to your local department store, Walmart, Target type thing, they're dollars. They're a couple dollars, and they allow you to steam stuff, and it fits right inside in the pot. The other thing that we're going to need is something to mix them up with. You can use a beater like you would mashed potatoes. I have an immersion blender, which you'll see later, but basically this allows you to go into the pot and mix things up. You can also use a blender or food processor if that works best for you. So first things first, we start with our star ingredient here, our cauliflower. Now I just got back from the grocery store, and this was actually the last one that they had. It was the only one that they had. And it's actually kind of small. You may, depending on how many people you are feeding, you may need to get a couple of heads, but this will grow in volume when you blend it down after you've cooked it and you add your other ingredients to the mixture. So if you've never worked with cauliflower before, it's pretty simple. Usually I just kind of beat it really hard to get it off the stalk, but today I'm just going to use my knife, and you'll see there's this big tough stalk here. You're just going to cut that off, because what you want are the florets below, okay? So with that said, we're going to put it in our pot here. We're just going to, what I like to do is actually just pull them off, pull the florets off, and if there's a woody stem, pull that off. Stick it into your steamer, and it's a pretty simple process. You don't have to get real delicate or fine with these. You're just going to get these florets into the steamer, minus the leaves. So just take your time, do that. Because remember, this is all going to get blended up, just like if we were making mashed potatoes. It's going to be really good. So this is what you're going to have in your pot. Like I said, you're just going to have your florets there. You can cut them into smaller pieces, but it's really not necessary because we're going to steam them all together and then we're going to blend them up. If you've never used a steamer before, it's really simple. All you do is add a little bit of water to cover the bottom of the pan. You don't want to put too much in, or else you're just going to boil your food. So you bring it to about where the water starts coming through the bottom of the pan. Let's see how we're looking. We can go a little bit more. Okay, so we're just creating a steam here, steam bath for this produce to cook in, and it's going to take about 20 minutes. Put the pot on the stove, the lid on the pot, and turn that puppy up high. You want it to steam for about 15 to 20 minutes until the cauliflower is fork tender. It's the same process you would use as if you were boiling potatoes to mash them. You want to be able to stick the fork in and it be tender. While the cauliflower is cooking, I wanted to show you some of the other ingredients that I'm going to use today for this. Now keep in mind that you can vary this to your own taste. As you'll see, I am going to put a little bit of butter in there. It is a small head, so there's only about 2 tablespoons of butter there. You do not have to use butter. You can keep it 100% dairy free, but I'm adding it in today just for a little added richness. Next we have some rice wine vinegar. For mashed cauliflower, I really like to have a little bit of a tang to it, and rice vinegar is the perfect condiment to put in there to have a clean yet tangy addition to the meal. Next I'm doing almond milk. It's what we have on hand, and again, you can use regular milk, you can keep it dairy free, it's totally your call, use what you like. And then of course the standard salt and pepper. I have kosher salt here. It's a little bit coarser and easier to cook with, but you can use any kind of salt you want. Himalayan salt, sea salt, anything. And fresh cracked pepper. Now if you're kind of picky about the appearance of your food and the black flakes mess with your mind a little bit, you can use white pepper as well. Just be careful not to use too much. And we're just going to add these to taste basically. So once the cauliflower is done, I'm going to come back and add these yummy ingredients. Okay, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek of what this is going to look like. I'm only going to pull the lid off for a moment, but I want you to see what the steaming process looks like. See, there is a little bit of water down there, but it's not covering the vegetables so that it's losing all its nutrients. It's really steam cooking it. Okay, so let's check on our cauliflower. It's been going for about 15 minutes. And we want to make sure that it's fork tender. See, it goes right in there, comes right back out. Even the stalk, so that's perfect. This is what we want. So I'm going to go ahead and drain it, and then we're going to finish off this process. So because I don't like to waste dishes, or clean dishes to be quite honest, I'm going to go ahead and do everything in the same bowl here. So I've already put our little pat of butter in and got that to start melting. Our cauliflower is in, and then from there I'm just going to add some of the other ingredients. So I'm just going to do a little splash of rice wine vinegar, probably about a tablespoon. I'm going to do a little splash of almond milk. And again, you can use regular milk if you prefer. A couple of cracks of the peppermill and some kosher salt. About teaspoon and a half. Perfect. Okay. So again, I have this immersion blender which lets you do the blending right in the pot. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. It's going to get noisy for a second. So we've gone ahead and mixed it up, and I like it with a little bit of texture. It's pretty smooth, but with just a little bit of texture. Next thing we're going to do is a little taste test here, just to see how we're doing with flavor. And it's perfect. So if you need a simple replacement for your typical spuds, give the mashed cauliflower a try. It's simple to make. In fact, you make it almost exactly like you would make your mashed potatoes, but without all the extra carbs, and you get some of the health benefits coming from cauliflower. If you have any questions or comments or tweaks that you would make to this recipe, shoot me an email at ckhealthandfitness@gmail.com. Until next time, take care.